Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Maybe when he blows the conch shell.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama
Hari Hari Hari. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna Preyasi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna Preyasi. Namo Namo. Radha Krishna Seva Pabo Abhilashi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna Preyasi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna. Jetomara Sharanaloy. Taravancha Purna. Kripa Kore Koro Tare Vrindavana Vashi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna Preyasi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna Preyasi. Namo Namo. Mora Abhilash Vilash Kunje Deova. Nayane Haribo Sada Jugala Ruparashi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna Preyasi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna Preyasi. Ei Nivedana Daro Shakiranugata Koro. Sevari Kara Diye Koro Nijadasi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna Preyasi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna. Dina Krishna Dasi Koi. Hey, Jano Mora Hoy. Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sada Jano Bashi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna Preyasi. Namo Namo. Tulsi Krishna Preyasi. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Premanande Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Shri Harinam Mahamantra Ki Gaura Premanande Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Rakshamam Krishna 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 Pahimam Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshamam Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahimam Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahimam Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahi Mam Gaur Premanande Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Now to start tonight, since we've all gathered here for the purpose of strategizing how to give the Srimad Bhagavatam to everyone in the GTA. How many people are there in the GTA? Better look it up. Only. 8 million only in the GTA. We're going to make a plan tonight to cover the GTA. One family, one Bhagavatam set. Is everybody ready? Come on. No. This is an army. You got to be fired up. We got to fight Maya. Fight Maya means to drop books like bombs on every neighborhood, every store, every college. Where else? Every jail, every bar, every parking lot, every airport, every hospital, every school. And in order to have the power to do that, which is an otherworldly power, we're going to have to pray. And how are we going to pray? We're going to pray hard. How are you going to pray? Pray hard. And we're going to pray to the 6 Goswamis. Are you ready? Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritambo Niji Radhirajana Priya Priyakaro Nirmatsaro Pujito Shri Pabaro Bhuvi Bhuva Banderu Vasanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopal Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno Sadharma Samstapako Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakaro Radha Krishna Padara Vinda Bhajana Nandena Mataliko Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Shri Gauranga Gunar Nanavido Shraddha Samriddhan Vito Papotapana Krintano Tanubritam Govinda Namritai Anandam Varnanaika Nipuno Kaivalya Nistarako Manderu Pasanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Chakvaturnama Shesham Bandalapati Shenim Sadatu Chavai Papotapana Krintano Tanubrit Govinda Ganamrita Anandam Lamagno Muhu Vanderu Pasanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Kujat Kokila Hamsa Sara Sagana Kirne Mayura Kale Nana Ratnan Nanda Shri Yukta Vrindavane Radha Krishna Maharnisham Prabhajato Jivarta Doyo Muda Vanderu Pasanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Sankhya Purvakanamagana Ki Kalavasani Krito Drahara Viharana Chatyanta Dino Chayo Radha Krishna Mahurima Nandena Samohito Vanderu Pasanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako Radha Kundatate Kalinda Tanaya Kirne Mayuraka Hemon Marabashara Sheshadasaya Sopramato Sada Gayanto Chakadahare Gunavaram Bhava Vibhuto Mura Banderu Pasanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalako He Radhe Vrajadevaki Chalalite He Nanda Suno Kutaha Shri Govardhana Kalpapada Patale Kalindi Vanye Kutaha Goshanta Viti Sarvato Vrajapure Keder Mahavivalo Vanderu Pasanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopal. Come on now, last chance. Vanderu Pasanatano Raghuyago. One more time. Vanderu Pasanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Go Palako Gaur Premanande 18 Thakur Goreyake Karyachana Masat 18 Era Charan Vandon Tine Moranat. We worship the three deities of Vrindavan, Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinath. And thus, we churn the nectar that spills out into the whole world. Srila Prabhupada established the kunjas all over the world where people could come and see Shri Shri Gaurnitai and Radha Govinda, Radha Kirchor Gopinath, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Only problem is they don't know about it. So all they get is a bunch of concrete and advertising and, I don't know, Netflix. And it's a depressing world. So we have a flood to let loose in the GTA. And it has force behind it because we have a legacy. And to invoke the blessings of all the devotees, where's my little clicker? Who have bequeathed this service to us. I first offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who said, "So kindly help me." And he readily engaged anyone who came forward with some enthusiasm to help expand the flood of the ocean of love of God, which is flowing all over the world. But it needs to be expanded at this very moment, much wider and broader to inundate the world. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared over 500 years ago. And as is mentioned in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the members of the Panchatattva danced and chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and enjoyed the fruits of love of God, and then they distributed it to people everywhere without considering who was a fit or unfit candidate. And the more that they distributed it, the more that the contents increased. This is spiritual mathematics, the way in which, by distributing Krishna consciousness, here, just look here, they'll figure it out. By distributing Krishna consciousness to others, it increases in our own hearts. And as mentioned by Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, the more we dance in ecstasy to the beat of the kirtan and the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and the more we go door to door and street to street and offer people an opportunity to come in contact with the Panchatattva and also dance in ecstasy, then the more the mellows of Vrindavan and Srimati Radharani's mercy floods our heart. This is our process for coming in contact with Vrindavan. Otherwise, no one can enter that place. Anarpita charim shirat, karuna yavatirna kalau, samarpayitum anatodra rasam sabhakti shriyam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, said, this hasn't been distributed. And therefore, he came, samarpayitum anatodra rasam, and gave the full distribution. So everybody is invited, and everyone can participate in Sankirtan. And in fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as according to the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, ordered everybody in the universe to take this up. Now, when you take an open order from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you have direct contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the order of the Lord is non-different from the Lord. And it's by that potency that one comes to see him face to face. And he said, wherever you go, whomever you meet, teach them the tenets of Krishna consciousness. So if you look at a picture of the Brahma Samhita, and you notice that Lord Brahma is holding a book, that is because our sampradaya, which incidentally means the greatest gift or the complete giving of the gift, means we're the sampradaya of the book. We're meant to disseminate knowledge to as many people as possible. And books are beloved in human society. They create change. So it's not a quaint idea that we distribute books as an aesthetic or just as an interesting way to present our philosophy, but books land in various places, like in people's homes or in their shelves in their offices or in their vehicles, and they wait for people. Books are very patient. They can wait for even hundreds of years sometimes until the right person comes and opens them. And we have from history evidence of the ways in which books have gone out into the world and changed the world. People have adopted various ideologies based on the books that have been distributed. For instance, does anybody here know about evolution? Okay, for those of you who didn't raise your hand, it's an idea that there's a way in which matter at some point organized itself. I'll try it again because I don't want to have to go through the explanation. Have you ever heard of evolution? The theory of evolution? You've heard of Darwin? Raise your hand if you heard of Darwin. Okay, for those of you who haven't, you can get a library card and check it out later. But not many people have the book, nor can many people explain what it actually means. But most people, if you ask them about evolution, they accept it a priori because the ideas from that book spilled out into schools, into society in general, and people accept it, even though they don't know much about it. Another instance of a book changing the world is a book called Common Sense by Thomas Paine. It's still a book that is counted as the best-selling book of all time per capita of any other book that's ever been sold in the world. Because in the colonies in America, everyone purchased that book. It's like a booklet. And according to historians, that's what started the American Revolution. When people read that book, which made sense to them, they were ready to give up their lives. And they created revolution. That's why we have America. So when we talk about the distribution of books and the way Prabhupada talked about it, it was to create a revolution all over the world. And he oftentimes mentioned the way communist literature had been distributed profusely in various parts of the world. And you may notice certain parts of the world have taken to communism, and much of it is because of the mass distribution of literature. And we also have the Srimad Bhagavatam that says, Tadvag Visargo Janatago Viplavo. This Bhagavatam is meant to create a revolution in the world. And so this is the legacy that we've inherited, passed down from our great acharyas, and that is the sampradaya of the book, the sampradaya of distributing knowledge to people. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and established his process of devotional service through his disciples, the Goswamis, who wrote extensively according to the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there were literatures to be distributed. And in fact, there's an account of this, even when books were written on palm leaves by hand, that the first party of book distributors went out with a bullock cart. And it's a long story, but that was the mood of the devotees at that time, disciples of Jiva Goswami, to take the literatures out to establish the sampradaya. That's why we sang that song from the Goswamis. And we've inherited that legacy, and it's ours to pass on to other people. Would you like me to work from that, or is it something that is...
I don't have the paper working yet, but I can have the laptop closer, or I can get whatever.
Okay. Yeah, just bring it closer if you can. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to tell about how to distribute books. Are you ready? Okay, 50% of the devotees are ready. Okay, you have to pray hard. What's the main process? You have to pray, right? No, you have to pray hard. Who's this? What's he doing? Praying hard. He prayed so hard, he made loud cries out to Lord Chaitanya. So if you want success in book distribution or in life in general, you have to pray hard. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard his loud cries, appeals, then he appeared. Haribol. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave two tenets for the Krishna conscious movement to keep it very simple. And I'll teach the two right now. Are you ready? Yes. Number one, I got to look at my cheat sheet here. Chant Hare Krishna. What's number one? Okay, number two, teach it to others. Okay, let's do a quiz. Are you ready? It's two parts to the Hare Krishna movement. Number one. Number two. Number two. One. Two. Two. One. And if we wake you up at 1 a.m. this morning, tomorrow morning that is, and say, what's the Hare Krishna movement? You'll say? Yeah, there's two parts. Chant Hare Krishna, teach it to others. Okay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed Krishna consciousness. He opened a marketplace, but soon after he left, due to the influence of the material nature, that marketplace was closed. Don't you hate that? When you have a product that you love, and then you go online and you look, and it says, out of business. I hate that. I should have stocked up earlier. And that's what happened with the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you went online and looked, it said it's closed. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message for every town and village has reopened even after becoming hidden behind closed doors by the great Thakur Bhaktivinoda. In 1891, he restored Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. We're going to go to see his house, which has just been restored also. The descendants of Bhaktivinoda Thakur living there, the place is dilapidated, but much to their happiness, ISKCON has purchased that place and restored it from the bottom up, and now it's in pristine condition, so anyone can go there on pilgrimage. Just as we've gone to Ottadanga Junction Road and seen the pristine state of that place where Prabhupada first met his spiritual master. Now you can go to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. And he declared that Surabhi Kunj, the marketplace of the holy name, is open again. Haribo. And he made a prediction that a personality will soon appear. And he also prayed, how did he pray? Very hard, for a ray of Vishnu to appear in his family. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj and other pure Vaishnavas were keeping the holy name going even though the marketplace was closed. And in the family of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur appeared. That's the answer to his prayer for a ray of Vishnu. And he took up the legacy of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And when our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, who is his disciple, met him, he asked, how can I serve? How can I serve you? And he told him in Radhakund, if you ever get money, print books. And Prabhupada said, I took up this from his mouth, that he is very fond of books. And our founder Acharya took that instruction to heart, and he spread the marketplace all over the world. Here's a flyer for Srila Prabhupada's first rendition of the Bhagavatam, which he made available before he came to America, 3 parts of the first canto. First canto in 3 parts. Now, let's observe this a little bit. It says 60 volumes of elaborate English version. At that time, he only had 3. Then he said, all over the world for scientific knowledge of God. At that time, he had no money, no connections whatsoever. But his vision was there, that it would spread all over the world. And this is what Srila Prabhupada writes in the Adi Leela about the Lord's plan. This is what is stated in the Adi Leela, chapter 7, that is Lord Chaitanya's plan. And that is, I want everyone to be immersed in this inundation of love of Godhead. You'll read that once together. What does immersed mean? It means submerged. What does submerged mean? Kind of dunked in something? What about inundation? What does that mean? Where's the research department? The funding was cut off, so we don't have any researchers anymore. Huh? Outpouring? Overflowing? Flood. Are you getting the metaphors here? It's big, flood, lots, not little, lots. I want everyone to be immersed in this inundation of the love of God. So think of Blur and Spadina. We want an inundation down there. How about the Dufferin Mall? Inundation or just let it go? Inundation. How about Kensington Marketplace? Otherwise, the other sound vibration comes in, and it's the same oppressive sound vibration that's been going on since time immemorial in the material world, unless there's the loud chanting of Hare Krishna and the distribution of translated literature. So We have to organize in order to make an inundation. And when people come in contact with it, they transform, they're lifted. Viplava means they're flipped. And here's what Prabhupada said his plan was. Let's see if it matches. He said, by printing books, we can actually inject our movement into the masses of people all over the world. So check and see if that matches with this. Inundation of the love of Godhead. By printing books, he said, as a strategy, we can actually inject our movement into the masses of people all over the world. Parallel? Don't say it just to try to be nice. Do you think it's parallel or not? Okay. And Prabhupada said, I like this idea of distributing books and preaching. That is Lord Chaitanya's plan. Now it's tightened up, right? Lord Chaitanya's plan? Prabhupada said, this is Lord Chaitanya's plan, distribute the books. We're the sampradaya of the book, and now I'll give you a little view of what I was talking about before when I was stalling for time. Lord Brahma, here's Srila Vyasadeva. What's he holding there and writing? You use it, it's got some hard vowels there so you can say book. Like kind of try to hit the airwaves hard with the book. So what's Srila Vyasadeva writing? How about Srila Madhvacharya? Yeah, he has one in his hand, right? Okay, what about Srila Rupa Goswami? What's he kneeling before? How about Sanatana Goswami? How about the 6 Goswamis? How about Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur? How about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? How about Srila Prabhupada? Correct. This is photographic evidence of what I was saying before. Just so you don't think I was sitting up here making things up. Books that have changed the world, Origin of the Species, and humans like language. Animals can't use language, they can communicate, but they can't use syntax or grammar. And if you try to teach them, they don't like it very much. Really, they don't. Okay, from handwritten books, because writing is speech abstracted. You can write things down, it can be reconstituted at any time, because humans are smart. What are humans? They're really smart. And they can write things down, and then they can reconstitute it later, so you can write the holy name down on paper, hand it to somebody, and next thing you know, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. They're chanting Hare Krishna. So humans are so smart that they thought, why do I have to write things down individually? Why don't I make a bunch of writings available through some kind of machine? And that's called the? Correct. We're getting somewhere now. Now, that's a picture of the Chandler and Price Gordon. What you're looking at there is a flyer for the kind of printing presses that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur purchased in Cleveland, Ohio, and shipped to Calcutta. And there's one of them still on display in the museum that's there at the Bug Bazaar Mandir, the first big temple that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta built. There's a museum next to it. It's fantastic. And on the top floor is this printing press, the original printing press. I recommend that you go there, pay your dandavats to the printing press, because that's what Prabhupada did when he saw the first printing press in Boston, when he bought a house and he moved the printing press in. And then you should pray hard that you can distribute books. Books are containers. What do they contain? Idea seeds. And what are little jivas? They're called Tatastha Shakti. It's a special kind of entity that is, okay, try it again. Yeah, they're open to suggestion. So if somebody has an ideology or some thought process, if you would like to introduce a new thought process to a living entity, any given living entity, anywhere, is it possible? Why? So they're open to suggestion, and that's why we go out and say, hey, what do you think about this? Over here, look over here. And then you say, hey, boss, I like your vibe. And you say, have a look at this. And next thing you know, little Jiva's going, well, how much is it? And you say, well, just tap on this and I'll tell you. So for book distribution, success and developing an empire that'll distribute ever increasingly more books every year. We should stand up for Prabhu. Lest anybody think that there's a mystery about how to distribute books, I have good news. It's not a mystery. It is a... Okay, work with me, people. We'll try it again. Success is not a mystery. It's a... Recipe. Can you follow a recipe? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. All right. Here we go. That's it. It won't go further. That's like that road Lord Chaitanya was on. So, thank you. Yeah, that's as far as it goes. The road to Kanai Natashala. It only goes so far. It's the last slide. That's all, folks. So now I would like to have a discussion with some devotees who are not only immersed in inundating the world with Srimad Bhagavatams, but they're also here. So that's a good combination. And I'd like to invite Malini Devi Dasi and Anupam Guru to come up here. That's it, right? That's all you're going to give them? That's all? You're here. Try to go to here. I guess you're not clapping because you don't know who they are. So, Malini Devi Dasi, circa 2006 or something like that, asked if she could come watch me distribute books. I think it was Berkeley, California, on the campus. And a few devotees were there. But I could tell that she had utsahan. She was following me around. And she said, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? How can I do this? And I said, you're going to be great. And she has, since that very moment, been dedicated to book distribution. She became the co-Sankirtan leader at ISKCON Silicon Valley and has presided over a very successful increase in book distribution, going from about 2 or 3 books a month to now, last few years, she's presided over a team that has distributed in excess of $1 million worth of books every year. Hare Krishna. Anupam Prabhu is our poster devotee for distributing books. He's making videos for the world. Years ago, when he was in college, he asked me what I thought he should do, and I said, I think that you should perfect the art of book distribution. And since that very moment, maybe even before that, he's focused on becoming a consummate book distributor and teaching others. He runs a program in New York City called Soul Spot. It's been very successful as a model for anyone who wants to go out with their family or any devotees and meet people and distribute sets of Srimad Bhagavatams. Thank you both for coming out here. Malini flew all the way from California. Anupam flew from New York City. we have Bhagavat Pran and Hadai Pran, who have come here also to assist in the overall festivities that we're going to have this weekend. They are both immersed in the Sankirtan movement, helping to spread it in California, Harinam Party system going out to distribute books, and New York City, respectively, running an ashram and distributing thousands of books. They have a goal in New York City to distribute 60,000 books between now and the end of the year. So they're here also to assist in the process. And now we have Shubal Vilas Prabhu and his dear wife who have come here to preside over this. And if he appears in the assembly, it means that the spirit of Prabhupada is here, because that's what they both carry in their hearts. Okay, so we'll have a discussion, and I'd like to hear from both of you. Why Srimad Bhagavatam? I'll keep it simple and just ask you that question, and each of you can answer. Malini, you start.
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and all of Prabhupada's disciples and all of you. Thank you, Prabhu, for allowing us to come and do some seva here. Why Srimad Bhagavatam? I just wanted to share my personal story about reading Srimad Bhagavatam and distributing Srimad Bhagavatam. I had a track record right from college that I never finished a single book page to page. I was not good at reading at all. But first time when I started reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, as Prabhu was mentioning that once it is in your house, in the bookshelf, it will start having an effect in your lives. So it took me a few years for me to actually get that effect. And once I started reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, I couldn't stop. So I must say, those are the first books I actually, in my entire life, I finished a book page to page and cover to cover. So that's the effect of reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And many years ago, His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu has asked us. We were in a very small, in a storefront, a temple, very, very, very small temple. And in the parking lot of that temple, we were just sitting. This is around the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And at that time, we were maybe distributing about maybe 50 sets, maximum, not more than that. And Prabhu said that we should have a goal to distribute 500 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And we were thinking, oh, I don't know if that will ever happen. Is it ever possible? But then, once we thought about that goal, then we started going door to door, which we never did before, distributing Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And slowly, as and when we went out, we started distributing sets on the door to door. We were going to stores, door to door. And last year at Silicon Valley, we distributed 3,500 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. It just all started with an inspiration that Prabhu said that we should have a goal of 500. And then here we are today. That's one inspiration. And the second one is that when we go door to door, or when we meet people store to store, we don't know who we meet. So many years ago, we were knocking a door, and one Indian gentleman opened the door. And that person was in a rush because they were going to place an offer on one of the houses that they wanted to buy. And they've been trying to buy a house for almost 2 years, and nothing was working out. And we knocked the door, and they had an appointment. So we said, can we show you something really quick? We are here to show Srimad Bhagavatam. And they were very nice, very courteous. Even though they had an appointment, they asked us, okay, sure, please come show. And once we started showing Srimad Bhagavatam, the different cantos, the different ideas that are there in Srimad Bhagavatam, they were captivated. And the host said, give me 2 minutes. And then he called I think the real estate agent and said, can we postpone our appointment to 1 hour because we have something that came up. And then finally he took the set of Srimad Bhagavatam. And they come from a family of meat eaters. And we gave the Bhagavatam, and they were reading, he was reading every day. And one day he was reading Srimad Bhagavatam, and then after that he went to take he went to take his lunch. And he cannot live without eating meat even for a single day. So the moment he started eating, he felt an urge that he had to throw up everything. And then he threw up everything, and he said, from today onwards, I will not eat meat. So, and this is a real story, by the way. And after that, slowly he reached out to the devotees after reading Srimad Bhagavatam. He completely changed his lifestyle. He started chanting, he's associating with devotees, and he's an initiated devotee now. His wife is initiated. His older son, who is in college, he's initiated, and his daughter is also aspiring to get initiated. Not only that, he is one of the biggest book distributors of Srimad Bhagavatam in our team today at ISV. And he doesn't come back home until he distributes at least 20 sets. So so why Srimad Bhagavatam? Why do we distribute? Because people are waiting in homes that somehow or other somebody will knock the door or somebody will present Bhagavatam so that they can take it, come back, and join the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Thank you, Malini. Anupam Prabhu, could you tell us a little of your story of how you got involved in reading Srimad Bhagavatam and distributing it?
Om Jnanatimanandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So I, like many other Westerners who you may bump into on the street out there, was what you would call sort of a seeker. And from a young age, I could somehow or other understand that what I was looking for and practically what everyone was looking for in the world wasn't actually being made available. And so my mom got me a Bhagavad Gita when I was 15 years old. She was a spiritual seeker of sorts herself. And I became enamored by it. And through reading the Gita and through being raised by someone like my mom, I somehow or other developed this conviction that love was the highest thing in all of existence. And that if I could find a way to imbibe that love that was pure, then I knew I could be successful and effective in the world. And so in search of that love, I wound up in India, of all places. I had met a devotee, a Prabhupada disciple named Yogeshwara Prabhu, many of you may know. And he recommended I check out the Govardhan Eco-Village, of all places. And so while I was there, I started reading excerpts from the Bhagavatam with some of the devotees there, and I became very interested, especially by one verse in particular, one we all may know, Savaipam Samparo Dharmo Yato Bhaktira Doksaje, Vahitikiya Pratiyataya Yatma Supersediti. Being a Westerner and being from a more universal background, this idea that it wasn't one religion necessarily that stood above all others, but it was the act of love itself, of bhakti, that was actually the supreme form of spirituality. So that concept very deeply resonated with me and very deeply affected me, to the point where I decided I want to learn all about this. So this is just about the end of Kartik at this point, and His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu had just finished up the Govardhan readings for that year. But I was in Vrindavan, and my mentor at the time directed me to go there because Keshava Bharati Maharaj and one other Swami were reading Srimad Bhagavatam for 6 hours a day, every day. So I decided to tune in to that, and after about 3 weeks of hearing the Bhagavatam, at that level I shaved my head and said, let's do this. So the Bhagavatam for me satisfies that longing, and I found that it's a longing that actually everybody has. You could see it as a common theme throughout all the movies, books, TV shows. There's always some love interest. But that so-called love which is being presented is wholly unsatisfactory. The real love that everyone's searching for is available in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's why even for people who are completely self-realized, it's very interesting. Aho Bhakya Swanukanu Kutam, that Shukadeva Goswami, who had wanted nothing to do with anything that had to do with the material world, he was motivated by this message of love, that Krishna, who's so merciful and so loving to each and every one of us, regardless of whether we know we're a devotee or not, is always waiting there with open arms to accept us and to embrace us with the love that we're actually always searching for. So then my spiritual master gave me a specific instruction in regards to book distribution, and I could see that by carrying out that order, which is actually an open order, that Srila Prabhupada wanted that this message of the Bhagavatam be spread far and wide, then all success is there. Shushu Shosha Dathanasya Vasudeva Katarichi. We perform service in accordance with the instructions of the Acharyas. We get Vasudev Kataruchi. So I could see that my only hope in actually truly imbibing that love that I was always searching for was to carry out this wonderful order of Srila Prabhupada and of his disciples to spread the Srimad Bhagavatam far and wide. And I could say that to the extent that I've applied that in my life, to that extent I felt completely fortified, spiritually, inspired, and able to move about the world in an effective way, both spiritually and materially. So the Srimad Bhagavatam, for me, and I believe this is true for everybody, is not just an ordinary book, but it is a window to the spiritual world that we ourselves can enter and that we can invite other people into as well. So that's why we share Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's fun and easy, I'll say as well. It's not like selling shoes on the street corner, but it's an overflow. Just like Vyasadeva himself, when he spoke that verse to Shukadeva Goswami, it was something that he himself had felt and experienced so deeply that it came out of him in such a powerful way that Shukadeva Goswami had no choice but to turn around and to listen to that message. So the Bhagavatam for me is my saving grace, and I found that to the extent that I share it with others, to that extent I'm actually saved and can imbibe that love that I was searching for in the beginning.
When did you first get a set of Srimad Bhagavatams? What were the circumstances? Go ahead, Anupam, and then Malini.
So I first got my first official set of Srimad Bhagavatam from none other than Mother Malini. It was at a Sadhu Sangha, I think 2017 or 2018. And she was overflowing. I had no choice. I couldn't help but buy the set from her, even though I had practically no money at the time.
Can you say anything of what what it felt like to get the Bhagavatam? What'd she tell you?
You know, she didn't have to say much. I think one of the biggest things that I've realized is it's not what you say, it's what you pray. And so Mother Malini is a great example of that, in that if we have that sincere desire to spread Srimad Bhagavatam, then Krishna will empower us to say just the right thing so that the person is affected and inspired to take it. So I'm not sure exactly what she said, but it definitely worked.
Thank you very much. How are you doing? Malini? Same question or anything else you want to say?
I'm fortunate that I'm married to Srivas Pandit Prabhu, my husband. He's an avid reader. He collects every single scripture that he can get his hands on. And even though his idea is that the books are here today, who knows, they may stop printing them tomorrow or day after tomorrow, so we can't take it for granted. So he makes sure that everything is there in his library. So the books were there in his library, and he used to read pretty regularly. But just by seeing the books on an everyday basis, and when I see somebody else reading it, actually transformed my heart. And then slowly, when I started reading it myself, I felt they were very familiar because the presence of the Bhagavatam in the home for so many years, it actually already my heart was melted by the association of the presence of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then slowly when I started reading it, I was astounded by its glories. And to be honest, when we initially started distributing Srimad Bhagavatam in the very initial days, I didn't read the entire Bhagavatam by that time. And once when we went door to door, somebody asked me when I was distributing, "Did you read these books?" Then I honestly told them that, "Oh, I haven't read them completely." Then the next day I came back and I decided that unless I read it myself, I won't have the full confidence and empowerment to present. But at the same time, I know that Bhagavatam is not just a small book. I can finish it in a day or two. But I wanted to sincerely apply myself to read a little bit every day. So next time when I present, when somebody asks me that question, I say, "Did you finish reading these books?" I always say, "I'm a student. I'm in the process of reading it. I have not completed them." And the genuine answer when you give, actually people respect that as well. So that's how my journey started about reading and studying Srimad Bhagavatam.
And that brings up another subject, which is equally important, the subject we started with, the legacy of distributing Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's reading it ourselves. When I was a new devotee in the ashram in San Francisco, very new, Srila Prabhupada had come to our temple in San Francisco, and a group of us new bhaktas were invited to go to meet Prabhupada. And we sat down in front of him, and our temple president had introduced us as book distributors. What's more, he also read the scores. And he was quite animated about it because he was very happy to have a team that was doing well. Prabhupada didn't comment on how many books we were doing. He didn't say a word about that. He looked at us and he said, "You must also read my books. I've not written them just for selling. I've written them for you to read, become pure devotees, and go back home, back to Godhead." And he was very stern about it. And I was surprised but fortified by that instruction, because it was 1973, in a time in which there was a spike in activity in the Krishna consciousness movement, and one of the mantras was "work now, samadhi later." And there was a mood that reading and all that, it could wait. now distribute as much as possible. But because Prabhupada had been so direct and stern, the way he said it to us, and it came from him so immediately, I took it as permission to read his books. But reading Prabhupada's books is a gigantic prospect, because if anybody looks at all of them on a bookshelf, considering how busy modern life is, one might think, well, how would I ever read all of these books? And I had read Prabhupada's books, albeit I'm sure I read all of them one way or the other, but it wasn't as systematic as it could have been. And I met a devotee named Hanumat Prashak Swami, and it was at a Rath Yatra. And he started asking me all kinds of questions from obscure parts of the Bhagavatam to see if I could answer. And it vexed me all the way home that there were a few points that I couldn't catch. And I thought I should go systematically through the Bhagavatam. I thought, how? And then I was listening to a talk by a person named Brian Tracy. And I remember the words. He said, any task that seems overwhelming, you just break down into little slices, and then you can do it. And I was driving in the car at the time, and I said, aha, there's a finite number of pages. And as soon as I got home, I called Srivas Pandit on the phone, and I said, I have an idea. I want to count all the pages of all of Prabhupada's books, and then figure out from that how many pages I'd have to read each day to finish all of his books. And Srivas Pandit Prabhu said, let's do it. So he started doing a calculation, and soon we made a chart. It was just on paper. And it showed each one of Prabhupada's books, how many pages there were, and they had a place where you could decide how, for instance, with the Bhagavatam, how much time you'd like to take to read the whole Bhagavatam. As an example, 5 years meant 8 pages a day. 1 year meant 41 pages a day. And then it became altogether believable that it could just finish it and read the whole Bhagavatam, what to speak of all the other books. And I made that and printed in mass quantity. And I remember once I was in Vrindavan, India, and I gave a class, a Bhagavatam class. And afterwards I told them a little bit about the chart I had. And I was sitting on a little vyasasana in that courtyard, and just in front of the deities. And I said, I brought one of these as a gift for everybody here. And all of the devotees got up all at the same time and swarmed the vyasana. And I realized that they were grabbing at them so much and pushing that the vyasasana had moved all the way from one side of the courtyard to the other. As I was trying to get around, I thought, well, maybe we've got a good idea here. And then it evolved gradually as an app. And the app, if you haven't looked at it recently, if you've ever seen the app, it's called Be a Sage, Page by Page. And it's evolved quite significantly recently because of some bright young people who looked at it and said, yeah, we could do some more stuff with this, including last year when we were at Govardhan Hill, a celebration we have every year of reading Prabhupada's books. We came up with a formula for not just how many pages a day, we had that, and we also then, we had on the app, you could do pages a day or you could do how many verses you read, because digitally it's hard to, you can't measure the pages, you just measure the verses. But then we used AI to figure out how many words we were reading a day. And that makes it equitable every day, because if you read verses a day, then the density of the passages can affect how long it takes. But when you read a quota of words per day, which we've now measured and have integrated into the app, then you know about how long it's going to take you every day. And you can, in a regulated way, you can read the whole Bhagavatam by just doing it every day in a measured way. So Okay, I'm going to make a suggestion, and it's something that we started recently at our community in ISKCON of Silicon Valley. I heard about this mattress company that has a mattress that is so comfortable, you get to pick your own what they call sleep number. And somehow you turn a dial on the mattress and it fits you perfectly so that you can sleep like a little seal, little baby seal or something like that. And what we have is your Bhagavatam number. According to the pattern of your life, you can pick your Bhagavatam number, how many words or pages or verses you'd like to read every day to finish it within a certain amount of time. And I introduced that at the beginning of the Purushottam Mas. Remember that? Purushottam? And it goes all the way till Bhadra Purnima, which is on the 26th of September. And we asked the devotees in our community if they'd like to participate. And everyone enthusiastically said yes. So we put up a board, and it reminds me of that one over there. It's a whiteboard and some pens. And the devotees then went to the board and they wrote down the number of pages they committed to read per day from the beginning of Purushottam all the way to Bhadra Purnima. And what are some examples of numbers of pages that are people reading from small to large?
Some devotees committed to 1 page, some 2 pages, some 5, some 10, some 20, 21, some 40 as well. And someone committed for 108 pages a day too.
Some Brahmas in some universes, well, in our universe, he only has 4 heads. In some, he has 108 heads. Some of them, he has 10 million heads. So you can choose according to how many heads you have or how interested you are, how much time you have. It's your own Bhagavatam number. It doesn't matter how many pages. The point is, once you start, you'll know when you're going to finish. And it's very satisfying. And also, it's the main process by which you can be completely in sync with Srila Prabhupada, just by hearing his purports. It solves all your problems because it's Krishna's way of teaching us how to go back to Godhead just by reading the Bhagavatam. So it's not by chance, or maybe it is, it just actually rolled in here, that whiteboard. I think it appeared here by chance. And by chance, there's also pens. What are the chances of that happening? And if you'd like, you can decide what your Bhagavatam number is. Something more than 0, not less than 1, and up to your imagination what you'd like to put on there to decide to read a certain number of pages a day. And you can write it on the board, and we'll take a picture of it, and you can also start a WhatsApp for everyone who wants to participate, and then you can, there's a little app we have inside the WhatsApp.
Yes, Prabhu. So
Tell how it works.
So once you decided your number, we'll add you to a WhatsApp group where enthusiastic devotees who have picked their number and they read on a daily basis. And every day there is a poll sent out. Have you finished your prescribed number of pages today? And you can say yes, that I finished. It's actually a sense of achievement. Devotees really like to click yes. So if you would like to participate, we will add you to, all the devotees can be added to that WhatsApp group and you can also participate.
It's a really cool thing to say. And it's a great excuse for a lot of things also. Just telling you some side benefits. People might say, hey, you want to do such and such? And you go, yeah, no, I got to do my pages. Say that. Yeah, I got to finish my pages. Yeah, no, I got to finish my pages. It's really nice because you have this pact with Srimad Bhagavatam. You're going to finish a certain number of pages a day. And it gives you this wedge into reading Shastra that opens up for you a new world. And it'll definitely overcome any of the kinds of anxieties that can creep into life in the world. So, do you have pens right now? Or do you have protective gear on in case there's a stampede towards the board? Is there anyone here who this appeals to? I just want one person. I don't want more than one. Okay. It appeals to you. Are you already doing it? Okay. Well, why don't you go up there and be the first one to put your Bhagavatam number on the page. Give her a rousing. Put your name and social security number. Mother's maiden name. Can you read it? 8 pages a day. So my question is, if she reads 8 pages a day of the Bhagavatam, what year will she finish? No, what year will she finish? 31? Okay. And how much older will she be? And if she didn't read the Bhagavatam, how much older would she be? And is there a difference between growing 5 years older and reading the Bhagavatam and 5 years older not reading the Bhagavatam? Yes. Okay. Is there anyone else? We don't want too many. Is there any one other person who would like to put their number on? Okay. Come on up here. Let's give him a hand. Don't tell us until you put the number on the board. We're going to wait till he puts it up there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Oh my God, it's 11. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can you confirm what it is? 11. Okay. Someone tell me when he's going to finish the Bhagavatam. We got our UC Berkeley student up here. Tell us. When? 2030? He'll finish in 2030. And what will he feel like in 2030 when he finishes the whole Bhagavatam? Okay, give him the mic. He's going to tell us what he's going to feel like.
He's going to feel ecstatic.
You'll be ecstatic. Okay, Haribol. Okay. We can only take one more person. Okay, you're up. You can put yours on the board. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh my God, he's putting a big number up there. And he writes big too. Is that a new pen or something that's running out? What did he put? 14. When will he finish? He'll finish in 2 years and 11 months and 15 days. What day will it be? 2 years, 15 months, and July 30th, turn it on. We have a prognosticator for you.
July 30th, 2028.
July 30th, 2028. See, they teach them this stuff at UC Berkeley. Haribo. Okay. You could put your Bhagavatam number on the board, and if you don't mind, please write a little smaller. Because by the end of the day, on our board back at ISV, you could barely fit everything. I think AI figured it all out, but try to write a little small and try to pick a pen where we can see it. Okay. Is anybody else feeling inspired? They'd like to put a Bhagavatam number up there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11 of you, go ahead up there and put your numbers up and try to fit it in there in a nice space where you can manage it. And if anybody wants to take a look at the app, it's on the app. It's on the App Store, and for Android and for iOS, and it's free, and it has a lot of facilities there, including you can connect to the Bhagavatam or any of the books right through the app. If you're traveling on the road and you want to connect and read the books, it has, what other features does it have? It'll help you measure where you are in your journey in reading the Bhagavatam.
Yeah, you can track your daily progress.
It'll track your daily progress. Okay. Has face recognition. Yeah.
If you're already reading Srimad Bhagavatam, you can put where you are currently and start your plan.
If you're already reading Srimad Bhagavatam, you can just put where you are and then start from there, and it'll start measuring for you. So don't feel bad that you have to start over or something like that. It's a smart app. How's it going over at the board? Now, why is this important? Because when you read the Bhagavatam, then you'll feel inspired to distribute it to other people. And Krishna will also give you the intelligence how to speak about the Bhagavatam as well. And Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantakstohi Bhadrani Vidudonti Suritsatam. Krishna helps those who hear the Bhagavatam to purify their hearts. Okay, let's hear a report from the board, how it's going.
So we have 8 pages, 11 pages, 21 pages, 20 pages, 5 pages, 7 pages, 30 pages. Yeah, so far those are the numbers, different ones.
Very good, very good. Al? A couple of suggestions. One is that there's several ways that you can read the Bhagavatam now. One is digitally. The BBT has just come out with a digital version of the Srimad Bhagavatam that we're offering to the public. So that's something when you're distributing Srimad Bhagavatam, if people aren't apt to take the print set, then you can also offer them the e-set that they can read on their phone or their computer. And there's also 2 sizes of the print set. There's a large size and there's a convenient travel size. Now, some people prefer to read on paper because there's a more, the spatial relationship with a paper book is less bewildering than on a digital device, because you have a sense of proportion when you might finish a certain section, whereas the E thing just keeps going and going. And so I recommend that you have the large set that you keep in a very visible place in your house, like your living room. And then you keep the smaller print set in a place where you can pull the books off the shelf and put them in your bag and take them with you when you go. And this is one of the ways in which you can keep reading your pages. So let's say you go on a short trip to, where would you be going? Where? You're in Toronto. Okay, but all right, you came from Montreal, you go to Montreal, and you might take a book off the shelf, and how long would you be in Montreal? How many? 7 days. How many of the small books, how many pages are you going to read a day? 11? Is that what you put on the board? Go on up there. Go on. Now, so he's going to read 11 pages a day, and he's got how many of the small Bhagavatams does he have to take? Just one book. Huh?
Maybe two if he's like at the end.
You probably take one book. You could look at it really quick and see how many pages you're going to need to read. Probably just one book. And it's easy to carry. You can carry it in a small bag. And then if you're on the plane or if you're in a car or anywhere, or you meet some people there, you can say, I have to do my pages. Would you like me to read out loud? And then people will gather around and you'll have a veritable Naimisharanya forest right there in Montreal because you brought your little book with you. So I recommend that you get the big set and then the small set for carrying purposes. And then it's nice to have an e-set for backup. And when you present to other people, you can also mention that it's nice to take all three. And then they can take a package of all three of those books. The big one, the small one, and the e-set. What do you think? Good idea? Okay. Do you have some of each one available?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, the answer is yes. So they're all available, and when we go out to distribute them, you can mention that to others, and you can also take the combinations as you wish with you. So does anybody, well, let me put it this way. If any time you'd like to saunter up to the board and put your number down after you think about it, something more than 0, not less than 1, do so during the program, or it'll be up here tomorrow, so you can think about it, test it out tonight, look at the Bhagavatam and see what will this feel like, and then you can put your number up there, okay? Sound good? And now we'd like to celebrate this new initiative by having one more bhajan. Would that be all right? Okay. And this is a bhajan written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And it's about how Lord Nityananda has opened up a marketplace. And I'll read the translation to you because it matches our mission tomorrow. Please give a hand to Malini and Anupam. And we may or may not sing the bhajan. A lot depends on the technology of the day. But we will sing. But we'll start with a different tune until they find the bhajan. A Shiva Ranjani. Do you all need to stand up for 1 minute? Please feel free. And put your hands high in the air and say, Gauranga. One more time. That's it. One more time. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'm singing news of the greatest happiness. At the place known as Surabhi Kunj in Sri Navadvip, the marketplace of the holy name has now been opened, and Lord Nityananda himself is the proprietor. Such wonderful things are going on in that blissful marketplace. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is selling the pure holy name wholesale, merely for the price of one's faith. Seeing the assembly of devotees eagerly waiting to purchase the name, Lord Nityananda first examines each of them to test their qualification. Then he sells them the name by bargaining for his price accordingly. Oh, my dear friends, if you really want to buy this pure holy name, then just come along with me, for I am now going to meet with this Nityananda Mahajan. Thus you will finally be able to acquire the pure holy name. I will also take my due commission, and in this way all three of us will fulfill our desires. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is so extraordinarily merciful, accepting only one's faith in the holy name. He bestows the topmost divine bliss. When Nitai sees a tear welling in someone's eye, upon chanting the name of Gaura, he instantly gives his support to that person. Indeed, he bestows all divine opulences. He gives that person genuine realization of the pure teachings of Sri Krishna, as found in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. While displaying all this inconceivable mercy, he pays no attention to one's caste, material wealth, mundane knowledge, or physical ability. Now, dear friends, please reject all of Maya's entangling snares. If you are a householder, then just remain at your home. If you are renounced, then just live in the forest. Either way, nothing more will trouble you. We no longer need to fear the terrible age of quarrel, for the most merciful Lord Nityananda gives the holy name to anyone and everyone, even to the lowest among men. Bhaktivinoda loudly calls out and proclaims to all, other than the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, there is no shelter. Boro sukar kabar gai, boro sukar kabar gai. Surabhi kunje te namar hat kuleche. Kodanitai, kodanitai. Kodanitai, kodanitai. Bora mojar katatai, bora mojar katatai. Shradamulye Shuranam Sehate Bikai. Kodanitai, kodanitai. Kodanitai, kodanitai. Jata Bhakta Vrindabasi, Jata Bhakta Vrindabasi. Adikare deke nam beche daro kasi. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Jarinam Kimbe Bai, Jarinam Kimbe Bai. Amar Sange Chalo Mahajaner Kache Jai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Tumi Kimbe Krishna Nam, Tumi Kimbe Krishna Nam. Dasturyo Ibo Ami Purna Bekam. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Boro Doyal Nityananda, Boro Doyal Nityananda. Shara Macheloi Den Parama Ananda. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. एक बार देख ले चक्षे जाल, एक बार देख ले चक्षे जाल. Gaura bole nitai den sakala sambal. Koda nitai, Koda nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Den Shuddha Krishna Shika, Den Shuddha Krishna Shika. Jati Dam Vidya Bal Nakore Apeksha. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Amani Chade Maya Jal, Amani Chade Maya Jal. Grihe tako mane tako natake janjal. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Aranaiko Kalir Boy, Aranaiko Kalir Boy. Achandale den nam nitai doyamoy. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Koda Nitai, Koda Nitai. Do you have the mantra, Hare Krishna, that goes through this? Bhakti Vinod Dake Koi, Bhakti Vinod Dake Koi. One more time. Bhakti vino dake koi, bhakti vino dake koi. Nitai charana bina arna hi ashroy. Koda nitai, koda nitai. Koda nitai, koda nitai. Koda nitai, koda nitai. Koda nitai. Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Panchatattva ki jai. Go Premanande Hari Bol. How does that song strike you? Is there any part of it that catches your attention? Do you need to hear the translation again? There's something about these bhajans with Nitai's name in it that are, they work automatically. When we were on our yatra some years ago at Dhameshwara Mahaprabhu, and there were Mayavadis there. They were looking at us curiously, and they had grim looks on their face until we started singing a song, which will go unnamed, with the name of Nitai and Gora in it, and they went crazy. They started dancing, Mayavadis. They were jumping up and down, singing the names of Nityananda and Lord Gauranga. I'm just read it one more time, and I want you to just meditate on the song itself and what it means, and how we're doing what this song is talking about. I'm singing news of the greatest happiness. At the place known as Surabhi Kunj in Sri Navadvip, the marketplace of the holy name has now been opened, and Lord Nityananda himself is the proprietor. Such wonderful things are going on in that blissful marketplace. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is selling the pure holy name wholesale, merely for the price of one's faith. Seeing the assembly of devotees eagerly waiting to purchase the name, Lord Nityananda first examines each of them to test their qualification. Then he sells them the name by bargaining for his price accordingly. Oh, my dear friends, if you really want to buy this pure holy name, then just come along with me, for I'm now going to meet with this Nityananda Mahajan. Thus you will finally be able to acquire the pure holy name. I will also take my due commission, and in this way all three of us will fulfill our desires. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is so extraordinarily merciful, accepting only one's faith in the holy name, he bestows the topmost divine bliss. When Nitai sees a tear welling in someone's eye upon chanting the name of Gora, he instantly gives his support to that person. Indeed, he bestows all divine opulences. He gives that person genuine realization of the pure teachings of Sri Krishna as found in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. While displaying all this inconceivable mercy, he pays no attention to one's caste, material wealth, mundane knowledge, or physical ability. Now, dear friends, please reject all of Maya's entangling snares. If you are a householder, then just remain at your home. If you are renounced, then just live in the forest. Either way, nothing more will trouble you. We no longer need to fear the terrible age of quarrel, for the most merciful Lord Nityananda gives the holy name to anyone and everyone, even to the lowest among men. Bhaktivinoda loudly calls out and proclaims to all, other than the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, there is no shelter. Hari Hari. So, you can get your due commission by bringing someone to Lord Nityananda. And that person can purchase the pure holy name with a little faith. And when we go to the various marketplaces where people thought of getting some little thing or a big thing. They may have no idea that they're going to meet a representative of Lord Nityananda who will bring them close and give them an opportunity to enter directly into the service of Gaura Nitai in the spiritual world. So those who engage in such service become, Prabhupada says, Krishna's favorites. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says a similar thing, that someone's engaged in such work is very, very dear to the Lord. In fact, Krishna says himself, there's nobody more dear. And we're coming to the end of tonight's gathering. We're going to start up tomorrow morning, and we'll hear from Shamohini about the exact schedule for tomorrow. Deeply grateful to all of you for coming from various places, far and near, to engage in this joyful festival over the weekend. A last comment from my side is that of the 4 laws of book distribution, which I mentioned, are recipe-like. If you follow them, and it's quite natural that you'll excel in book distribution. And it just so happens that the first one is your sadhana must be strong. Sadhana gives life. It gives happiness. It solves all problems. And if you have a strong sadhana, then you can overcome all obstacles, and you can also do something that nobody else in the world can do. You can withstand the words of people who may have envy towards you, or may think they have ill intent, and they may say something to you in any part of your life, and you'll be able to tolerate because you're happy inside your own heart. And that's impossible to do without strong sadhana. So start, if you can, with a diet, in addition to your practice of reading a set number of pages a day. Put your Bhagavatam number down. Carry your little Bhagavatam with you wherever you go. And if anybody tries to bug you for something else, just tell them, I'll be right with you as soon as I finish my pages. That's the mantra. And that's what real renunciation means, as taught to us by Srila Haridas Thakur. I'll talk to you later, because I'm busy right now. So just check in busy for the rest of your life with your bhajan, and nothing else will bother you. Now, Shamohini, tell us what we've won.
Hare Krishna. Please put your hands together and your hearts full of gratitude to His Grace, Vaisheshika Prabhu and Mother Nirakula, for coming to Toronto to enliven all of us and inspire us on this process of Krishna consciousness, and give us, remind us of the light of Bhagavat. That's something that we all need and the world needs as well. Thank you to all of you for making time today and for this weekend, which is definitely going to be an unforgettable one. We are very grateful that Malini Mataji and Anupam Prabhu chose to come to Toronto. Thank you for coming and being there to share your experience and guidance with the devotees. Also, as Vaisheshika Prabhu thanked, Bhagavad Pran Prabhu, Hadai Pran Prabhu, and Mahamantra Prabhu are visiting devotees from New York, Bhagavad Pran Prabhu from ISV. We also have several other devotees who are visiting from Calgary. Can you just show your hands, please? Calgary. Haribo. Winnipeg. Winnipeg. And Baltimore. Haribo. Welcome. Anybody else from out of town here? Montreal.
Montreal.
Haribo. So tomorrow morning, we are going to start early at 7:30, because we only have a few days and we want to get the most of the association we have. So we're going to start sharp at 7:25. And in addition to all the nectar that you're going to get, the first 20 people who show up for the session at 7:25 will get a gift. 7:25 we'll begin with a short Bhagavatam class by His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, which will be followed by training by Anupam Prabhu and Malini Mataji on actual distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam sets. We'll have a short break for breakfast, and then we'll have some interactive hands-on training where everybody will get to practice. Because we're going to head out on the streets following this great bhajan that we learned or we sang this evening to share the mercy of Lord Nityananda with everybody in the city of Toronto. So we're going to head out at 11:30 sharp. Thank you, Jayanti. So 11:30, we're going to go out. We'll have takeout prasadam, and we'll be out till about 4 o'clock. After that, at 6 o'clock, tomorrow is bhajan night. So tomorrow is a day to soak up, to drown in the mercy of Lord Nityananda, and you don't want to miss it. Please be on time, 7:25 sharp in the morning. I also have a few other announcements. Some of you did not check in when you came, so Atma Darshini there, raise your hand. She's going to help everybody check in. It's important for us to know if you're here, if you've registered and you're here, so we can serve you all better with the logistics. Also, we need to know who all are coming. How many guests are you bringing tomorrow morning? Because we need to arrange rides for everybody. We need to pack books accordingly. We don't want everybody to show up on one location. So organizing the troops is very important. It's the toughest thing to do, getting everybody out the door. But we're going to touch the pavement, and with all of you and all your friends. We just need to know how many you're bringing. That's all. So if we have a Google form that Atmadarshini has a QR code for, we need to know how many friends you're bringing and if you have room in your car to carry, to give rides to anybody else. So we can appropriately assign the teams. We have a WhatsApp group for this weekend. So if you have registered, you should have received the WhatsApp invite. If not, please do that before you head out tonight. We need to know how many friends you're bringing today. Otherwise, we may have too many people on one location. So please make it a point to let us know how many of you are coming, or how many of your friends are coming rather. All of you are there, we know. Also, as Vaisheshika Prabhu mentioned, we have the Srimad Bhagavatam available in the large print version, the pocket, the portable print version, the digital version with the ebook and the audiobook. And we can't distribute what we don't know or what we don't have. So tonight here in this audience, if you don't have any of those four, please take a chance, please take this opportunity, come forward and grab your copy. So we have the large print, small portable print, the ebook and the audiobook. You can listen to it while you read it. So if you would like to help take your own copies, Jayanti here will be able to set you up. Anything else? I just want to thank Atmadarshini, the part of the organizing team, as well as the other devotees from the Bhakti Academy to help support, help organize this whole initiative. We have a really nice merch table there. If you'd like to come by and have a look, there are several articles. There's a water bottle, there's a backpack, there's t-shirts that say bright, as brilliant as the sun, from the Srimad Bhagavatam verse, Krishne Swadhamo Bhagate, Dharma Jnanadi Bhisaha, Kalau Nashta Drishamesha, Puranarko Dhunodita. Srimad Bhagavatam is as brilliant as the sun, and it's risen to give us light. So please, please join us promptly at 7:25 tomorrow. First 20 people will get a gift. Only 20. So our weather expert, Radha Mohan Prabhu, is telling us the weather is partly sunny and beautiful. It's the best day of the weekend. That's what AccuWeather says. So for those of us who live in Toronto or any part of Canada, you know how rare it is to get the best day of the weekend, best weather of the weekend. You don't want to miss this chance. Come join in Lord Nityananda's army. Hare Krishna.
Also, when you come out tomorrow, there'll be no obligation to distribute books. Just come out to see what it feels like. We're going to take a photo when we get to our respective spots of us touching the pavement for photographic evidence that we participated during Kali Yuga in the Sankirtan movement. And once you've taken the picture, you don't have to do anything else. So feel free to just come out and experience what it feels like to go out into the great unknown. And think of what Prabhupada felt like when he stepped on the Jaladuta. That's what we want to feel tomorrow when we walk out the door. That we don't know what's going to happen, but we know there's a urge within our heart to do something to serve Srila Prabhupada and the Sri Guru Parampara. And so we'll just react to that and we'll go out with a very primal spiritual sense that this is the right thing to do. But don't worry, you don't have to perform. You'll learn how to distribute sets of Bhagavatams tomorrow, but there's no obligation. You can just help out or stand there, watch, chant Hare Krishna, and just be there. And then we're all going to talk about it on Sunday morning and have some reflections of what it felt like. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Sri Gaurnitai, Sri Sri Radha Kirchor Gopinath, Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, if you so desire, please bless our little army here, that we all feel emboldened by the bhajans of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srinivasa Acharya and the eyewitness reports of the power of the Bhagavatam coming from Malini and Anupam, that we may feel enlivened to go out tomorrow to distribute Bhagavatam sets to all the good people of Toronto. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer. Please say Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpadabhishcha kripasindhabheva patitanam bhavanibhyo vaishnavebhyo. We need a, you're the king of tunes. Why don't you make a, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Or is a good cover there?